Welcome, loves. This is Gemini Supermoon transmission for the end of the 26,000 years cycle. If your throat has been burning with truths you can't swallow anymore, this is for you. The Gemini Supermoon message is the cosmic soundtrack to everything we've been living these past weeks. Years of silence, like a dam finally breaking open, and the things that waited too long to be said are exploding out, whether we're ready or not. It's ancestral and planetary trauma moving through individual throats. This is the first wave of ascension, the messy one, volcanic and boundaryless until suddenly it isn't. The ones whose words are being released now are the torch bearers, going first so that the others can see what is possible. These are words that refuse to stay silent, finally rising. If there is something you have never dared to say, something that has lived in your throat for months, years, and lifetimes, this Gemini supermoon is the first moon that sounds the trumpet and lights the torch. Gemini demands clarity and plain speech, but before you allow the forgotten words to flow, look beneath them to find the real motivation. Is it old fear wearing new clothes, or is it love that was never allowed to land? Whatever it is, let it rise now. This full moon is not gentle, it arrives with fire. The doors humanity nailed shut over its own power are being blown open from the inside. And what explodes out of one mouth is not only personal trauma, but the world's trauma looking for a voice. Conversations that were buried, histories that were denied, boundaries that were never drawn, all of it surfacing all at once. Some call it chaos, but the stars call it victorious. It can feel volcanic, but if you stand inside the rush and let the pulse of the living earth move through your body without flinching, you become the torch. Those who watch may be speechless, some in awe and some in fear, but their turn will come. You're the first wave. They may be the second or the third. We thought ascension would be soft, music and pastel light. Instead, it begins with throats finally saying no more. This is how the new world is born, one unshut mouth at a time. Speak, dear ones. The moon is listening and the ancestors are listening. The future is listening, and it's all ready. So the first wave, Gemini announces the first wave. The first wave are those activated by fire. There's a difference between being a fire thrower and a torch, and you will need to make the conscious choice which approach you'll take and which one will carry you into the new world. As a fire thrower, you speak to punish, to win, to burn the other person down. And it often comes from wounds that still believe they have a fight to be safe. They have to fight to be safe. And it leaves a scorched earth. Nobody wins with that. The torch, however, speaks to illuminate, to free, and to end the cycle. It comes from the part that has already survived the fire and now carries it safely so others can believe there's another way to embody power. Burns bright enough to warm, not destroy, and leaves people awake, not blind. So the full moon is inviting you to choose, will you throw fire or will you become the torch? Now in Dolores Cannon's The Three Waves of Volunteers, and in my book, Protocol for New Earth, Teachings from the Tree, tie directly into what's happening right now. In late November into December 2025, we're inside one of the most intense solar flare sequences of solar cycle 25. From November 28th to 30th, we've had back-to-back X-class flares, the strongest category. And from December 1st to the 4th, massive coronal mass ejections are slamming and have been slamming Earth, triggering strong geomagnetic storms. The auroras are being seen from far from the poles, and the Schumann resonance has been spiking like never before. These aren't background flares, they are literal fire from the sun hitting the Earth's magnetic field, compressing it, and pouring high frequency plasma straight into the grid, into the ley lines, into our bodies. This is to collapse the dimensions and integrate all the bodies into one here on Earth. It's like that awakening when you know you're your higher self. All levels come in, separation just ends with you. What you're hearing as the trumpet, feeling as the push upward, witnessing Mother Earth on fire, is the physical translation of that solar plasma meeting human nervous systems that are finally ready to hold more light. This is exactly what I was shown when I wrote my book, Protocol for New Earth Teachings. Gaia is speaking of a great shift at the end of the 26,000 year cycle, a big event in consciousness where cosmic forces and Earth changes would converge. Now, the tree teachings described a time when the old way of living and dying, the old karmic loops, and the third dimensional contracts would no longer be sustainable. We would be asked to step into a new protocol to live as part of Gaia's electromagnetic field, her body, rather than in resistance to it, to conduct more light through our systems without breaking. What we are in now has the same signature as that message. The sun is delivering the surge, the earth is shifting her field, and our bodies are that meeting point. We are that battery. This is where the culling and the calling come in. The flares are doing three things at once: burning off the density that kept us silent, the culling, activating dormant DNA and throat chakras and the ones who came for this, the calling, and forcing the planetary field to flip from suppression to expression, which is the first wave. This Gemini Supermoon, December 13th to 14th, is sitting right on top of this peak solar influx. And that's why the trumpet sounds so loud, you can't ignore it anymore. The sun is shouting, the earth is answering with fire, and our throat chakras are clearing and releasing. The moon is amplifying it so no one sleeps through the alarm. This is not just a metaphor, it's an astrophysical, geomagnetic, and deeply spiritual event all at once. What once felt safe and familiar can no longer be sustained. It's old. This is a controlled burn, a clearing of what cannot cross the threshold into the new earth frequencies. At the very same time, the calling is happening in the opposite direction as the old structures burn. Dormant codes in your system wake up. The throat chakra comes online in a new way. You feel pulled, sometimes violently, toward the conversations, creations, and boundaries you came here to embody. The calling feels like a trumpet, an inner trumpet that expresses, I cannot unknow this. I cannot unsay this. And I cannot go back to pretend that I can no longer deny everything I know. It's the moment you realize your voice isn't just self expression, it's a frequency the planet literally needs right now. In Protocol for a New Earth, Gaia laid out a living roadmap for this: how to change the way we live and die, how to end karma and finish our third dimensional business, and how to align our personal tree of life with Earth's own field so we can stand upright in these waves rather than be knocked flat by them. The big event was never meant to be a single day circled on a calendar. It was shown as a convergence, a window where solar, planetary, and human timelines braid together and demand a choice: stay with the old system of suppression or step into the new earth protocol of truth, coherence, and embodied light. In the three waves of volunteers in the new earth, Dolores Cannon speaks of souls who volunteered to incarnate on earth to help it shift into a higher dimensional reality, into a new earth. The first wave are the ultra sensitives who never quite felt at home here, overwhelmed by everything, all the chaos and the violence they experienced, carrying a deep sense that they didn't belong on this planet. The second wave holds stabilizing frequencies, often quietly affecting others just by being in a room. And the third wave are the new children arriving with upgraded templates already online. The first wave ascension is the volcanic truth telling, the throat clearing, the boundary shattering. No more is the activating moment for these waves. This is when the volunteers remember why they came. And so, in Protocol for a New Earth, I share a simple but powerful practice called 555, the breath of life, where you let your whole body pulse at a steady 1 hertz rhythm with the earth. As you settle into that cadence, your nervous system begins to downshift out of emergency mode. The body reads this slow, even pulse as safe, and your stress response starts to soften, which helps bring cortisol and other stress chemistry back towards balance. To understand why this breath is so important right now, it helps to feel the relationship between the two frequencies. So, examining 7.83 hertz, which is the fundamental Schumann resonance, the Earth's electromagnetic hum, it's its song. It's a standing wave in the space between the ground and the ionosphere, generated mostly by lightning all over the planet. So, you can think of it as the planet's aura, her voice, her song. When people say tune to the Earth's frequency, they're almost always meaning 7.83 hertz. Now, 1 hertz is the mother's heartbeat. Around 1 hertz lives another rhythm, the slow, tidal, gravitational pulse you feel when you let your body fully relax against the ground. This is the mother's heartbeat, the frequency of her womb, of deep delta sleep, of a felt sense of being held by the planet herself. It's not just the Earth's song, it's her hug. And they work together. 783 hertz carries the information, the solar codes, the flare data, the cosmic downloads. And 1 hertz receives and grounds that information into the body without overwhelm. When the big solar flare hits, the Schumann resonance frequencies can spike in intense bursts, sometimes measured over 100 hertz. That's a lot of frequency light flooding the field. If we try only to match that 7.83 hertz, we can feel wired, anxious, have headaches, all single, no container. And so we need to ground that. But when we drop into the 1 hertz breath first, we open a huge, slow inner container so the high frequency light has somewhere safe to land. The nervous system reads that rhythm as I am held and I am safe. Then the 7.83 song can move through us instead of frying us. The same solar fire that's shaking everything loose can actually move through you as power, not just overwhelm. So 1 hertz pulsing breath that helps calm cortisol, steady the mind, reconnect your soul to your body, and sync you back up with the earth's feel so you can conduct more light instead of collapsing under it. So the Gemini Supermoon, December 13th to the 14th, is sitting right on top of the peak solar influx. That's why the trumpet feels so loud you can't ignore it anymore. It's like the sun shouting and the earth answering with fire in our throats, in our bellies, in our throats, and the moon is amplifying it so no one sleeps. So your water wave is the second wave. This is the fire wave, the first wave. The torch has been lit. You can be the torch, not the fire thrower. 1 breath before you speak, hand on heart. May these words serve the highest good. Speak to free yourself, not to burn anyone down. Some ears will open, Some will stay closed a little longer. Your words are seeds. They may awaken with the second wave. I already know that the second wave is gathering. Soon will come the cleansing tears, the great washing that heals what we burn away tonight. Thank you for being here with me. If this touched you or moved you, please stay and follow me. We walk this together, one transmission at a time. Blessings be. And now I'm just going to channel the original message that the Gemini transmitted through me. Hi, dear ones. It's me, your Gemini moon, talking straight through this voice tonight. I've been watching you hold your feelings and words inside for so long. The ones you were afraid to speak, the ones you thought nobody wanted to hear. I kept them safe for you. But tonight, I'm giving them back. It's okay if they come out shaky. It's okay if they're late. Just let them out. Say what needs to be said with kindness, with clarity, and with love. Some people will hear you. Some won't be ready. That's not on you. You're not speaking to fix them. You're speaking to free yourself. I'm right here, so close to you, with the earth holding you too. Your animals, your plants, your ancestors, they're all listening with proud hearts. Speak, my loves, you have not been forgotten. And when the words leave your mouth, you'll feel me smile. The torch has been lit. Can you feel the pushing, the rising, a fire moving up from the earth, through your feet, through your belly, straight into your throats to be expressed? Silence can no longer obey. The torch is already lit. Mother Earth is on fire, and tonight she claims her voice through us. No one can quiet her now. No one can quiet you now. Whatever has been burning inside you, whatever waited for permission, the Gemini moon says, speak it, let it out, let it burn bright. Don't let it destroy, but to light the way. I'm holding you, she is holding you. Just open your mouth and let the fire speak. The torch is in your hand. The first wave is underway. The earth's fire, the volcano is erupting. It is the voice of the earth. It is her voice and your voice saying, no more. Remember, fire speaks, water heals. Fire breaks the dam, and whatever becomes the new river, and water becomes the new river. Fire says, I will no longer be silent. Water says, I will no longer be poisoned. And the water is gathering just behind this heat. When the last torch is spoken, the oceans will answer. And when that second wave comes, we will not fight it. We will become it. Your future, you're feeling the future in your body's love. That's how you know it's almost here. Hold the fire steady a little longer because water is listening and waiting. Thank you. I'm Tammy Julian, author of Protocol for New Earth, healer and teacher. Thank you.